Sean, we finally did it. We finally got rid of him. It's been a year. We've been plagued by this Chelsea absurdity for a year, and we finally got rid of him. I'm so excited. This is Red Card Radio. I'm all messed up on my scenes. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the North London Hour of Red Card Radio.
Yeah!
Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends traditionally. This week, it's just the two of us from North London. My name is James. I support Arsenal. With me tonight is Sean. He supports Tottenham Hotspurs, and we kicked Brad out. He's getting chased around Orlando by some mouse.
He's actually probably being led around by his kids.
Well, yeah, I'm sure.
It's probably like a leash situation going on, you know what I mean?
If you happen to be in Orlando and you see Brad, he's probably with some woman that's far outside of his league and a very cute young lady. They're enjoying Disney World this weekend. So it's good for them.
Brad and his goatee just happen to be there.
Yeah. He's I don't know if it's a well-deserved time off for Brad. I don't think he's earned it from the podcast standpoint. I'm just saying. But
he didn't even put in PTO.
We're gonna have to have a one-on-one with him when he gets back.
Yeah, we need to get HR involved.
The minute Red Card Radio needs HR is we're all up a creek.
Yes, sir.
But as all of you are aware, loyal listeners to Red Card Radio, we are in the middle of a international break. But we're on the tail end of it, so that's good news. We've got football coming back this week, and we've had international football going on. We will talk a little bit about the U.S. men's national team tonight because we are both Americans. World Cup qualifying, that's important. But what we'll talk about tonight, we've got your comments from last week, and then we're going to talk a little bit about internationals, and then we'll look forward to match week 8, which is coming up this weekend. Got quite a few games. But yeah, we're just going to jump right into these comments. So we got, of course, as always, our loyal Red Carders on the YouTubes. We got Jimmy and Will. Jimmy is doing something interesting here. We've been having this conversation.
I'm surprised and I'm upset.
Let me fill everyone in real quick, Sean.
Okay. So go ahead.
So we've been having this conversation about penalty takers for a couple weeks now. This all stems back to the Cristiano Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes situation at Manchester United, where Bruno took the penalty over Ronaldo and missed it, and Villa. I think they won the game, right? Villa won the game. They beat.
That was a draw.
Was it a draw?
Oh no! Yes, no. It was a win. That would have tied the game.
Yeah, so Villa won the game, and so the conversation that we had was who in world football is taking penalties for you, right? Like is it Ronaldo? Is it Messi? Is it Neymar? Lewandowski? Who is it, right? And so we all had our moment. Sean was being a homer and picked Harry Kane still because that's his life.
When's the last time Harry Kane missed a penalty?
I'm just giving you a hard time. But you want to talk about some homerism. Talk about our boy Jimmy. So our boy Jimmy, last week, he was saying that he would take Milner. And I was like, okay, that's a weird flex. But Milner is not even in the top 5 for me on Liverpool. And
we named him.
He came back with statistics. So before Mo Salah took over the penalty, the penalty taker position, whatever, James Milner was the penalty taker for Liverpool. James Milner, over the course of his penalty taking duties, went 25 for 30 with an 83% conversion rate. Now, Mo Salah has had 22 penalties, and he's converted 18 of those with an 81% conversion rate. Now, loyal listeners, I will tell you that I am just using Jimmy's numbers here. I did not independently verify these numbers, so they could be wildly inaccurate, or they could be spot on. I don't know. That's just my disclaimer. But his claim is that James Milner has a higher penalty conversion rate, so he's sticking with James Milner. He does also state that he might have a James Milner bias in his defense, but I don't have a lot to say about that.
I have a very high conversion rate with girls on Thursday afternoons only in June, though. We can make stats say whatever they want if we want to go that way.
This is a very specific statistic.
Like girls on Thursdays in June only. I have a very high conversion rate.
Thursdays in June, you're
batting
1,000.
Like you can make stats mean what you want, but
true.
at the end of the day, Salah's a better player. He should be taking the penalty.
Yeah, Jimmy, I am curious who you would take in world football because I know that you take
world. Oh, then that opens a whole different conversation. Maybe you and I should have.
Maybe, Sean, you want to have that conversation? Who would you have? Who would you have in world football as a penalty taker?
Maybe you shouldn't start with me.
I see that smile. You're gonna do it.
Well, let me put a little bit more thought to it because my initial thought goes to Harry Kane because I as a Tottenham fan do not remember the last time he's missed a penalty. And maybe I can be corrected on that. Maybe it was recently. He was given shit for that, for being he won the Golden Boot because half his goals were penalty kicks. He's at that time he was the only dude who could smash penalties home. Like he's the penalty taker. Like that's not his fault.
No, it's not.
But anyway, he just converted what was given to him. But anyways, that's aside the point. That was like 3 years ago, me mad. But I hate it. I hated when he won the Golden Boot, and I would get shit about that. I don't know, man. Lewandowski's got to be up there.
Yeah, that's kind of that's who I am with doing zero research into this without thinking about it more than just the 30 seconds ago that I posed the question. I think I'm sticking with Lewandowski. Like. The dude's
just
a
cold.
Beast.
He's just cold-blooded.
Yeah, he's just a beast.
I hit back of nets is what he should be his name.
I'm trying to think in Italy. It's like clearly like I'm thinking in the Bundesliga. Like you got like him, Haaland. I think those are both good options.
I was actually thinking like culturally and countryly. I'm thinking Brazilian and Italian.
Okay.
Because those two countries, Brazil has flair, but Italy traditionally has like cold-blooded penalty takers.
Yeah.
Like Pirlo sticks in my mind. Yeah. I'm gonna make this no matter what you do.
I mean, who takes a Pinaka in the World Cup?
Yeah, exactly. Like that type of dude. And then Brazil has the same type of shit, like Neymar. Like I don't know if Neymar would be the first one to take it.
I mean, probably for right now in Brazil, But a couple years
probably
ago,
be the one. Yeah, he'd probably be the one. But like Brazil has got a good one. I think at the end of the day, I'm probably sticking with Kane or Lewandowski. I think we're right on the two between us.
Yeah, I think we're splitting hairs at like this level, right? Like,
I think I said that last week.
You did. And when we're talking like Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar, Lewandowski, we might even be able to throw Ibrahimovic into this conversation. Kane.
Well, not now. Not now.
I don't know.
Ibra in his prime. Nah.
I'm sure.
You think Ibra still got it?
Yeah, I do.
If you're given $10,000 if you block anything and you get 10 shots from Ibra, are you blocking any of them?
Me personally, no.
Yes.
Not a single one.
Oh, I'm taking that bet. I think I can get to one.
I mean,
out of 10,
I'm taking the opportunity, but I'm not touching anything. Like, is he allowed?
I'm getting to one of them.
Hold on. Does he have to score all 10, or does he get to miss?
Sorry, I lost sound.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. So, does he have what?
Does he have to score, or is he allowed to miss?
No, he's taking a penalty.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying is like, does he have to go 10 for 10?
Oh, no.
Does it count for me if he misses or if I block?
No, you have to block it.
So I have to touch it.
You have to touch it and away from goal.
Bro, he's just shooting for the 90 every time. If he doesn't have to worry about missing.
Good thing I can jump and I'm long.
Bro,
I'm getting there.
I know that you played goalie. I know that you played goalie for Staph Infection and whichever other teams you mercenaried your way onto in college. I understand this. We could never figure out how to get you on FC McCrary though. Probably should have. Goalkeeper was always our issue.
Long arms.
Shout out UVA Wise intramural soccer.
Yep.
You're not stopping anything that Ibrahimovic is
Yes,
shooting.
I'm saying I could get 1 out of 10 from Ibra.
Sean, you're what, like 6'2", 6'3"?
6'2".
You're 6'2". I'm sorry. That's
It's
just
happening.
It's not happening. We need to get Ibrahimovic to see this. Zlatan.
I'm stopping 1 out of 10 from Ibra.
Zlatan, can you come to Virginia in the summer? Let's do this.
Or fly us out.
Yeah, we'll come to Milan. I'm down. 100% down. But it's probably easier if you come to Virginia. But let's do it. Zlatan, let's do it. Let's figure out Red Card Radio. Listeners.
I'll put my cleats on. I'll put the boots back on.
It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
Oh, I'm blocking. No. I'm blocking one. I guarantee it.
There's no way. All right, we're moving.
My hand-eye coordination's too good, man.
Bro.
He's going to try one sneaky low one fast. No. Oh, I'm going to be like, shoo, right there.
Okay. All right, we're moving on.
Yeah, we spent way too much time on that.
It's okay. We're making up for the fact that Brad's not here to ramble.
Oh, yeah.
He normally
does. Yeah, he would be rambling if we weren't.
He'd probably be saying something about Chelsea, and he's going to take Dave or Chili. These weird things. He just picks random names, like random words, and attributes them to Chelsea players. But all right, so Will. This is a very humorous when I read Will's comment. So last week we were talking about Claudio Ranieri coming back to the Premier League, and the question was, which Italian team did he manage? You, Sean, said Genoa, and I was like, I don't think that's right. So I was going through the Rolodex. I came up with Sampdoria. Full disclosure,
we were both wrong.
No, I was right.
Oh, you were right.
I was correct. That was a guess on my part, but it felt right when I guessed it, and it turns out I was right. The interesting tidbit, which makes this an interesting thing, is that Will fills us in that apparently Sampdoria and Genoa share a stadium in Genoa. So
we're both right.
You were kind of close. You were in the ballpark. They would say
literally in the ballpark.
Yeah,
literally.
So that was when I read that I was impressed.
By the way, we haven't talked about this. Remember when I said this was a Formula One podcast now?
Oh, yeah. Tell us more.
Lando Norris. I got the shirt right here for those on YouTube. Lando with an exclamation point for those not on YouTube.
I need to get my
and McLaren blue.
Get my boy. Oh my God, I can't remember Lewis Hamilton. I gotta get my Lewis Hamilton shirt. There we go.
And we got the McLaren logo with the LN4 on the hoodie.
Mercedes all day. Every day. We don't lose.
We don't like Germans around here. You must be a Kraut. We like English folk because they help us storm the D-Day.
Yo, Lewis
McLaren's English.
Lewis Hamilton's English.
Well, he's conspiring with the Krauts.
Bro, he's bringing everyone together.
No, he's not. That's not a peacekeeper.
Yo, he is. We're all
his teammate is Finnish.
Yo, it's multicultural.
Nah. Yeah. Lando. McLaren.
You're being too
McLaren's time.
You're being too insular. You're not. Okay. Anyway.
Not gonna happen.
That was a humorous comment that I read that from Will. That definitely made me laugh.
That was a good one.
But yeah, I don't know if you saw on Twitter today, Sean, but you got Jimmy came at you on Twitter because it's now Thursday and we hadn't recorded our episode for the week. He came at you a little bit on Twitter. I'm just saying.
It's not my fault. Work's fault, by the way.
Blame work. But yeah, so that's all we really have for our comments. I'm gonna quickly throw up the league table just to kind of prime everybody. Actually, I'll do that in a minute after we talk about internationals. Before we talk about the EPL. So we're in the middle of the international break, the greatest time in the football calendar. You feel like you're getting ahead of steam, and everything's going well, and then boom, FIFA rears its very ugly head and says there's World Cup qualifiers. And so the U.S. How would I rate the U.S.'s results? So they played 3 matches over the course of about 7 days. They beat Jamaica 2-0 at home. They lost on the road to Panama 1-0. And they beat, not Croatia, but Costa Rica 2-1. That's a funny joke. Sean and I were laughing about that beforehand.
CRC is Costa Rica.
CRC is Costa Rica, though I was like, that made me think of Croatia. Anyway, so they get
Croatia is not in North America, just to let you know.
Man, they're not in CONCACAF? Oh man, that's crazy.
On the Adriatic Sea.
That is true. They are on the Adriatic, but it's like a tiny sliver. So anyway.
Actually, they prevent Montenegro from having any. They like it makes it like the country makes a sea, like down the coast.
Yeah.
And they prevent Montenegro from having any coastal lands.
Yeah.
And it was like, Montenegro, I would like to go surfing, and then Croatia was like, nah, you will not go surfing.
All right, so out of a possible 9 points, the U.S. pick up 6 points in qualifying. I think it leaves them second in the group to Mexico.
No, we're tied for first.
Did Mexico play yet? Their next game?
Oh, I don't know. I do know that we are tied for first.
All right, I'm gonna pull up the standings real quick.
And all we need to do is
Sean, we're second. So
on what?
Mexico's on 14 points. USA is on 11 points.
Okay. So when I heard this information, they must not have played.
Mexico's been playing after the US, like hours later, and so yeah, when the US beat Costa Rica, we drew.
All we need to do is be in the top 3, right?
Something like that. I forget exactly who qualifies from the hex.
I think it's the top 3.
Top 3
out of
the
hex.
The fourth. It's no longer hex. It's like the oct now. I think So top 3 probably qualify. Fourth plays in that playoff against another region. I'm not sure if it's Oceania now or if it's still Canambro, but they'll play in like a playoff 2-legged tie. I think that's how it was in the past. I think that's how it still is now. The U.S. hasn't qualified for the World Cup in a while, so I'm a little bit.
It's been since 16. No.
Wait, yeah.
14.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Oh, 16?
No, it was 14.
Yeah, no, 18. No, yeah, it was 14.
We didn't play in
since
18.
we played in a fucking World Cup.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We don't even know what it's like anymore.
Yeah, I forget. So it'll be good. But yeah, so we're in good shape. The U.S. is in good shape.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say, so clearly winning at home, super important. I still don't know why we don't have our we should build a stadium complex just like in North Dakota, as far.
I said that.
As far away from all of the Latin American and Caribbean countries as possible, and where there is possibly only American supporters, because it's really crazy to me when we have World Cup qualifiers in Houston or something like that, and it's the U.S. fans are overshadowed by whoever we're playing against or something like that. That always bothers me.
I said that a few weeks ago.
I've been saying
you're
this for
just
years.
parroting my point.
No, this
it's
is
it should be Minnesota. We should play in the Twin Cities. That is our home field advantage. Outdoors,
bro. I'm telling you, it needs to be as far north and cold as possible.
It actually it doesn't piss me off because I don't care that much, but it angers me a little bit that we train as a U.S. national team in Denver to go to Mexico City.
I mean, that is a huge you have to do it, right? Because
you have to be ready because they're also a mile high.
Yo, the Azteca is that's smart on Mexico's in there, and it's smart for them to
so
play
let's use our advantage. Let's play in Boston in December.
Yeah,
let's use our advantage, bitch. You're using yours.
Yo,
why are we playing in Houston in December?
Let's play
it don't make any sense.
Let's play in Alaska. Let's go.
Fuck yeah! Let's play in Juneau. That's what I'm talking about. We got this country. We playing in our country.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Let's go.
You say country again.
Country.
But
you play in your country, I play in mine.
I think on the balance of play, I think it's 3 okay. I mean, clearly losing to Panama is not good, but if you look at the lineup that Berhalter threw out there, it was all the children.
Did you see Serginho Dest's left-footed blast?
Yeah, his goal
to take the lead to tie the game.
His goal was nice today.
Oh, if you haven't seen it,
yes,
it was from the right side of the box, left-footed, the far side net upper corner,
Yeah.
and a rocket.
Yeah. He smashed.
It would have ended up 100 yards if there wasn't a stadium behind it and there wasn't a net. He hit it so hard it would have ended up 100 yards from there.
Yeah, and I think Zardes should have been given, or maybe it was Tim Weah. It was Weah, I think. Who?
Yeah, there was an own goal.
Yeah,
there was an own goal situation.
But his, I think, was it was adjudicated an own goal, but his movement and pace in the box and everything like that was actually super effective for setting that goal up. Clearly, because we scored. But I think what
Weah plays in Bundesliga, correct?
He does. A lot of our big name players now are kind of playing in Europe and things like that, which is good. Which is good for American football.
Good for America.
But yeah, absolutely. I don't know when we play Mexico. That'll be a good one. So there's 8 teams in this group. What does that mean? There's 14 games total that everybody plays. Because
16 games.
No, it's not 16.
Oh, yeah.
It's 14.
14 games, yeah.
So it'll be 14 games. Through 6, we're on 11 points. So, still have to continue to win and things like that. But 3 points behind Mexico. I don't think we've played Mexico yet. I'd have to look.
We played them last international break.
Did we?
I think it was a draw, 1-1 or 2-2. No?
You got Mexico coming up on the 12th.
November. We got another international break, folks.
Yeah. Okay. No. We haven't played them yet. Yeah. So in November we play Mexico in World Cup qualifying, and then we play them again in March. So we haven't played them yet in this round of the Oct. We're gonna call it the Oct because it used to be called the Hex. But yeah, so we still have 2 games against Mexico, which would be super important. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty happy. Clearly, I would have liked to see a draw at least against Panama, but it happens. I think, especially when you're playing such a young squad, anything can happen in World Cup qualifiers.
I think we're all young. I think the entire squad is young, and there's no elders to play.
Yeah.
What do you like coming up in this week? After you take a sip of this delicious water that you have.
Yeah, I need to reinvigorate.
Me too.
Yeah, you get a drink too. Let's look at the table if it's going to come up. There we go. I can figure out these scenes. I'm good. So just to recap for everyone, we do have the Premier League coming up. We've played 7 matches so far. Match week 8 is coming up this weekend. But looking at the league table, Chelsea's still on top, 16 points. Liverpool second. City is in 3rd. United is in 4th, rounding out those top 4 positions. Everton's in 5th. Brighton and Hove Albion, they're still in 6th. This is their wonder season so far. Brentford also punching above their weight in 7th on 12 points. Tied on points with Spurs, who are in 8th. West Ham 9th. Villa 10th. Arsenal are 11th at 10 points. Then we've got Wolves, Leicester City, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Leeds United, Southampton, and then in the 3 relegation positions, we've got Burnley, Newcastle United, and Norwich City. Speaking of Newcastle United, their takeover did go through, so they are now owned by an investment fund group out of Saudi Arabia. Apparently, much to the chagrin of the 19 other Premier League teams. Apparently, the Big Six. Apparently, we're trying to stop that from happening for whatever reason. Maybe we'll call them the Super League clubs. We're trying to block that. But I mean, yeah. So Newcastle is going to. It's not going to be immediate. I don't know what we're going to call this. Their transformation. Let's go with. It's not going to be immediate. It's going to take many years. But maybe in a couple of years, Newcastle will be a interesting player in the Premier League. Considering if they can convince people to come to Newcastle, that's the big if.
We had an interesting question in the group chat, and I want to repost it.
Okay.
In the next 5 years, does Newcastle play in the Champions League?
No.
All they do is qualify.
No. I don't think that happens.
In the next 5 years, really?
I don't think I don't think I don't think they make it to the Champions League. I could see them sneaking into Europa League maybe in like 5 years. So I remember you posing this question, and I'm mad at myself for forgetting to do the research that I wanted to do. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to look at the timeline between when Roman Abramovich bought Chelsea and when Chelsea made it to the Champions League, and when Sheikh Mansour bought Manchester City, and when Manchester City started reliably playing in the Champions League. I meant to look that up. Maybe I'll try and look it up now.
Well, I think it's irrelevant because I think
it's super pertinent. I think that you could draw parallels.
I don't think so because I think in the next 5 years, I think that's a realistic time zone. Newcastle will be vying for a top four.
Really?
Which is gonna make the top four really congested with Man City money and Chelsea money, plus the top us, Tottenham and Arsenal, plus Liverpool, plus United. Like it's gonna be really congested in there.
I don't think. I still feel like we are getting ahead of ourselves. With
5 years.
5 years is not that long, because we have to think about the fact that they're going to have to convince people to come play. Like it wasn't like it. And so Manchester City ended up with, 1,000 strikers. Like when they first were getting money, right? So they were buying everyone, and like it just didn't work out for it took them a while before like they landed.
They realized they needed a manager.
But more than that, they were churning through managers, right? And so this is the problem, is like they were churning through managers until they got some stability under what's his name, the Italian guy.
Pep.
Nah, I mean, they were stable
Ancelotti.
before. No, it wasn't Ancelotti. It was Mancini. Yeah.
Oh, Mancini.
Yeah. So they won. I think
Mancini. Roberto Mancini.
I'm trying to think of the timeline because they had Mark Hughes for a while, and then I want to say that Mancini replaced Mark Hughes.
Yes, that's correct.
That. And then Mancini was winning stuff for them, and then for whatever reason, they got rid of Mancini. I don't remember who. I don't think they went directly to Pep after that. I'm gonna have to look at this. I'm gonna have to pull up list of Manchester City managers.
Well, either way, what I'm saying is, I think you're underestimating the amount of money that can be put into this.
But financial fair play will still be a thing.
It's been proven that financial fair play doesn't matter. It's been well proven. Because many teams have been caught, quote unquote, violating the terms, and nothing has come of it. So what does it matter? Why are those rules in place? What do you mean it's not true?
Chelsea's had a transfer ban. Barcelona had transfer bans. Well, those weren't financial fair play issues.
Okay. So point to one financial fair play ban.
Okay, they tried to ban City. They tried to ban City.
They didn't. But they didn't. It got appealed and it didn't. So why wouldn't you? If you know you're not going to get punished, why wouldn't you break the rules?
It's a fair question. If
you know there's no punishment, why wouldn't you do it? To be better than the next competitor.
I mean, but who do you think they're bumping out?
Who's getting bumped out? Tottenham. Because we don't spend shit.
I'm glad you said it.
Liverpool. Liverpool's getting bumped.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool's definitely.
The Arsenal, those are the ones, those are the three that are getting bumped.
Yeah, those are the three most precariously placed. If you think of the Big Six, the Big Six is currently comprised. The three with the most money are United, City, and Chelsea.
Yeah.
And then it's probably like Arsenal and Kroenke, and then maybe Liverpool, maybe Tottenham in that order.
Yeah, Tottenham's last. Just because of our debt ratio, because of the stadium.
Yeah, I mean, but like, I don't know. I don't think that Newcastle is going to. I think 5 years is not a long time. I think it's going to take a while for Newcastle to get to the point where they're consistently vying.
I just disagree.
So I saw a rumor that Antonio Conte is interested in the Newcastle job. Antonio Conte is a winner.
Color me surprised.
He is a winner. He is a very good manager.
So you know what he's going to bring in? 2 strong center backs, a strong midfielder, and a striker. And that is the core of your team.
Yeah, so you get the spine, but like I don't know. I think you need more than that. Like, apparently the Newcastle facilities are really terrible comparatively. Like, their training ground, those facilities are
they're about to be better.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while to convince people to come play for Newcastle United. I think especially if you're comparing, if you have comparable offers on the table between City, Chelsea, and Newcastle United, do you think people are really choosing Newcastle? I think that the only way Newcastle gets selected by players over City or Chelsea is if Newcastle is paying them double what City or Chelsea are paying them.
I was going to say, tell me what the numbers are.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to offer more.
Yeah, you're going to have to be paying. So, like, if who's a good example? So, I don't know how much Lukaku's making, but I would imagine it's like $300K.
I think it's like 300. Yeah, 300. So, we were right on the same number.
So, how do you convince Lukaku to come to Newcastle over Chelsea? And maybe Lukaku.
That's a bad example. You should have picked somebody in London.
Because
he's in Manchester.
Okay, fine. Okay, who did City sign this?
No. He's back in Chelsea. Never mind. That's a good example. He's in London.
Well, but so my point is just that, like,
geography.
Yeah, my point is just that, like, does paying Lukaku $600K to play in Newcastle get him to come to Newcastle over going back to Chelsea? I don't know. Lukaku's a bad example. Lukaku's a bad example because he was a Chelsea youth product. Well, not youth product. He was a Chelsea player and wants to come back. Apparently, really loves the club. Idolized Didier Drogba as a kid, and so like wants to kind of fill that role. So like that's a bad example. We got to pick someone like Haaland. So like Haaland's coming somewhere next year, but the question is, where is he coming next year, right? So when he has offers from Chelsea and from City and from Newcastle, even if Newcastle is paying twice what the others are paying, I still don't think Haaland chooses to go to Newcastle. I just don't see it happening. And maybe because it's the first year. Maybe to your point, in years 4 and years 5, after they've gotten a couple people to sign on board, they've had a little bit of success in the league. Maybe you can convince like 1 or 2 more that put you over the top.
If I was that investment group, the first thing you need to do is ship off John Joe Shelby, because I've looked at his bald head way too long in the Premier League.
I want to see the return of Tim Krul.
No.
Bring him back.
No.
Bring him back, baby.
No, we need a good keeper. And I want John Joe Shelby gone.
Are you jumping ship?
Jumping ship? No, Newcastle?
Breaking up with Spurs to go be a Newcastle fan?
No, absolutely not. I'm just saying, I've looked at his bald head way too long.
Yes, 5 years seems like not enough time. 10 years, I could see. I think
5 years they are competing for the top 5.
Competing?
Yeah, they're vying. They're vying for it.
I don't know, man.
So what do we got coming up this week?
Okay, yeah, I'll think about that. I'll let you know. But yeah, so matches coming up this week. We start. This week is the fantastic week where we have a Monday night game, which always makes me so happy. But so on Saturday we have a boatload of games on Saturday. We got Watford hosting Liverpool early on. Then we got Villa hosting Wolves, Leicester hosting United. That I think is going to be a really interesting game. City hosting Burnley. Norwich is playing Brighton. Southampton is seeing Leeds come to town, and Brentford is hosting Chelsea in a London derby. On Sunday, we got Everton hosting West Ham United, and Spurs are away to Newcastle. And then on Monday, we've got Arsenal and hosting Palace in another London derby. The return of Patrick Vieira to Arsenal. He gets to come manage against Arsenal. That'll be fun for Arsenal fans as long as Patrick Vieira doesn't win. And Arsenal win. But yeah, so I think there's some definitely some interesting matches coming out this weekend. Clearly, to me, the pick of the pack is Leicester and United. I think that this is poised to be a super important game for probably for both of these teams.
It's like picking roles. It's like Leicester can make a statement by saying we are better than you.
But beyond that, Leicester want to be fighting for Champions League positions. It's where for the last couple seasons they've been right in that area. Mm-hmm. And right now they're in 13th. Now, I am the person to say that I don't care about the league table before the 10th match week. I think it takes about a quarter of the season to kind of feel out where you belong. And I also think that the Premier League table generally doesn't lie. And where you end up is where you belong based on how you've played throughout the season. But so United are 2 points off the top right now. They're in 4th. Leicester are in 13th. 8 points off the top. This is a statement game for Leicester. I think in that saying we're still in this, we're still relevant this year. If they lose this match, they stay on 8 points, and all of the other teams move up. I think it's going to be very long for them to think about really realistically challenging for Europe. So I think it's a super important game for them. I mean, of course they can go on a tear. Like Arsenal last year went on a tear at the end of the season. Like the last 23 games, they played astronomically differently than they played in the first, 15 games. So clearly there can be a huge difference between seasons, but between half seasons, I should say. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is a super important game for Leicester. You seem unimpressed with my with my thinking.
I just think this is a Leicester plant the flag in the ground situation. I agree with you. Where this is Leicester slamming the flag in the ground and saying we belong here. That's this moment, and that's period. This is what they're saying. This is their moment.
I'm arguing that Leicester need to win this game, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I'm with you.
Okay, maybe for different reasons.
Yeah, for different reasons. This is a chest beating Leicester situation. To beat our chest, we need to win this thing and slam the flag in the ground and say you're not winning here because our turf. You won't win this. And that's a big 3 points to pick up.
It would be huge for them, I think. I think that would really help.
Yeah.
It could help galvanize their season and help
Absolutely. Absolutely. The other one I picked out actually was Southampton Leeds.
Okay.
Because Southampton, who I forgot was in the league, but Leeds has, after I gave them my vote of confidence at the beginning of the season, they have fell off the map. Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing, Leeds? Pull your shit together.
Yeah, they're feast or famine, right? So now
feast or famine.
To be fair,
they are feast or famine.
They have 3 draws already this season. Last year, those would have either been wins or they would have been losses. Because
so my point was, this is an away game you have to win.
Yeah, well, I think Southampton is ripe for the taking for Leeds.
Yeah, that's 3 points.
I mean, Southampton made some interesting decisions, to say the least, in the in the transfer window. They sold their main striker, and they sold one of their main center backs in Danny Ings and Vestergaard. So those were super.
That's what Southampton does, though.
Yeah, but it seemed like a lot right towards the end of the transfer window, right? Like normally, your Van Dijk leaves early in the transfer window, or I'm gonna go back there, but Theo Walcott leaves early in the transfer window, something like that. But it seemed really late when they sold Vestergaard to Leicester, and so I'm kind of wondering if removing kind of an important part to your back line has had a significant impact on them. Now, they weren't very good last year either. I think it was 2 years ago that they were pretty decent, if I'm not mistaken, finished in the top half 2 years ago. And so last year was kind of seemed like it might be an aberration that they weren't very good. Or maybe they're just coming back to form. maybe 2 years ago was an outlier, and they're not very good. I want to say that either you or Brad picked them to get relegated, right? You got the sheet there, right? Do you have the sheet in front of you?
No, and I moved places,
okay.
So the sheet is not here.
We'll find the sheet, but I'm pretty sure someone picked them to get relegated. You think it was you, Sean? Yeah. But I think Leeds should win that game. I think Leeds clearly want to win that game. It would be kind of embarrassing if they didn't, in my opinion. Because Southampton just aren't.
I don't think we have much to talk about left after this. You should Newcastle Spurs. We should win that. We should win that game, and then.
What do you think about
Newcastle Spurs?
Well, because I think
that's a game we have to win.
Yeah. So yes, agreed. But Newcastle, all the Newcastle fans are going to be on a high because they all hated Mike Ashley. They're all super happy that Mike Ashley's gone, and so
doesn't matter.
St. James's Park.
Do they play on the pitch?
Yeah, no, but St. James is going to be popping. It's gonna be a good environment. And also, you got to think. I think you have to also think about these players. These players are all playing for their career at Newcastle, right? So any of the players that are maybe fringe players or things like that, they could all be shipped out, right? And so they want to experience the excitement of the. That's fine. You're good. They want to be able to experience the excitement of the new manager and all of the amenities that come from that. And so I think that I think that's really important for the Newcastle players to come out, and they're going to play hard. We'll catch Sean's thoughts on Spurs Newcastle in a second. He had to step away. I'm going to talk about Arsenal and Palace real quick. I'm looking forward to this match. We had a downer against Brighton in that last match before the international break. We were on a high from the North London derby, and then we played in that terrible weather on the south coast and didn't really look very good. Basically, we're very lucky to have a draw. And so this is going to be a very interesting match because Crystal Palace have been playing phenomenally well over the course of the season. They've been scoring lots of goals. They've been playing very well against really good teams. And they're going to kind of maybe a resurgent Arsenal, maybe not. We're not really sure yet. We're going to have to wait and see. Because Arsenal were on a 3-game bounce winning, but 2 of those games were against relegation fodder. One of them was the North London derby, so that's kind of an outlier that you can. I feel like the North London derby is always going to be. The players will always get up for that because the fans won't let them not, and so this I think is going to be a real test against a very good Crystal Palace team about whether or not Arsenal are legit this year. Whether or not their resurgence is legit, whether or not their bounce is legit, or whether or not they're just gonna kind of meander in the middle of the Premier League again.
Well, you know how I feel about Crystal Palace.
They are the bane of Tottenham's existence.
They are the bane of London's existence. They're just a tough game every time.
But I think they're especially tough this year because they're attacking and scoring lots of goals, and they look good.
to your personal fandom credit, that's Vieira.
It might be. Might be.
That I mean, what else would you point to?
I mean, they did have a fossil.
It's relatively the same players, right?
Yeah, it's basically.
He doesn't have new players that think like him.
I don't know specifically who they signed this summer and who they didn't sign. I know they still have Benteke and Wilfried Zaha and kind of that same core attacking group. So yeah, no, I definitely think that
it's Vieira.
That Vieira's had an effect on them. So I think it's good for them. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be an interesting test to see if Arsenal is legit or not.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, but yeah, that's what we got coming up this week. I think that's about all we got really need to talk about. We could belabor the point for another 20 minutes if people want us to.
We could. Yeah.
But I think everyone can see here who's listened to this podcast today can see that the reason why we always go over an hour is clearly because of Brad. It's always Brad's fault.
Yeah.
So if you're meandering around Orlando and you see Brad, you tell him that. Tell it to his face.
Please do. Please do.
But yeah, if you guys are still listening, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in every week. Whenever you're listening to this, we're sorry that it's got shifted a little bit later in the week than we normally do. We might be changing our recording schedule and things like that just based on real life situations. So we appreciate you guys' flexibility.
Thank you for me personally.
We will be back next week. We will definitely be back next week with another episode recapping match week 8 and looking forward to match week 9. That I can guarantee you. But if you're still listening, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share it with a friend, do all of those things. Reach out to us. Tell us who you would take to shoot a penalty for you. Tell us if you think that Newcastle is going to be vying for a Champions League spot in 5 years or not. That's an interesting conversation that I'd be willing to have again. But yeah, we really appreciate it. As always, you can catch us on social media. This man right here is at @Whiteheart_Sean. I am at James Tiffany. We collectively are at @redcard_radio. And if you have any issues with something we've said tonight, if you thought that we've been wildly off base on something, please send that to @KSBradG on Twitter. @KSBradG. Tell him tell him what you think was wrong, and he will deal with it. Okay? We really appreciate it though. But until next week, guys. Thank you so much, and we will see you.
Thank you so much for tuning in.